Hey there, welcome back to our Mastering Your Morning series. I'm Julie Voris, and so far we have talked about why you need to have a morning routine. We've talked about what time that morning routine might start. We've talked about what the heck do you do once you get up, what is in the morning routine. Today we're going to talk about letting that morning routine shift with the seasons of your life. We're going to talk about how to keep it consistent, and we're also going to talk about how that morning routine and why it actually starts at night. So if you're in for it, just stay tuned. All right, so you've decided that you need the morning routine. You know the morning routine is magic. You've got the time you're gonna get up, and you've got what's gonna happen within that morning routine. But here's a piece that I believe a lot of people, especially women, forget. That morning routine can and should shift with the seasons of your life. Let's think about someone who maybe is single or newly married, no children. Their morning routine really centers around themselves, just taking care of themselves, their self-care. You know, because I build a business from home, I always think about that. Maybe they're working on their business, they're working on their job, whatever that might be. But it really centers around their own self-care and taking care of themselves. So really, they can get up whenever. They're not really worrying about anyone else unless they have pets, unless they have puppies. And that whole morning routine centers around them. That's totally cool. That is the season of life they are in. Maybe they get up at 7 instead of 5 because they can, because they don't have kids that are getting up or animals that they have to care for or anything else, and they don't have to be at their job till a little bit later, whatever. That's the season of life that they're in. But here's what happens. Sometimes we forget that when our seasons of life changes, a lot of other stuff, a lot of the other pieces in our life has to change or shift or evolve as well. So that might include our fitness, it might include our nutrition, it absolutely includes our morning routine. So maybe you move from being a single person or a newly married person into a person with a baby. Okay, if you've got a newborn baby, you're not getting up at 4 a.m. to start a morning routine. Chances are you're already up at 4 a.m. taking care of a baby. So you've got to find a way to integrate a morning routine that is super simple and super sustainable. Because note, I'm not telling you that you don't do it. You still have to care for you. You still have to tap into the magic of those morning hours, the quiet of the morning hours. Even if you're rocking your baby or nursing your baby or taking care of your baby, whatever, you still got to tap into that. But it's going to look different than when the next season comes. And maybe your child is in school and you're doing a school run and you've got to be out the door by 7:15 to get them to school. Well, your morning routine now might have to start at 4:30 or 5 a.m. because you've got XYZ that you want to get done prior to that school drop off. And then it'll shift again. Now maybe they're in high school and they're driving themselves to school and there's no more school drop off, which by the way is very sad when that happens. You lose that car time. But that will also dictate what time your morning routine happens. It might happen later. It might happen earlier. It might happen when they're already out the door to school. And then there'll come a time when there's no kiddos at home and you really can get up again. It's almost like being that single person or that newly married person again, where it kind of shifts back to just you taking care of you. And it took me when I was a new empty nester, although I think that's a complete misnomer because my nest is not empty. I'm here, and so is my husband, and so are our dogs. So it's never empty. The nest is never empty. But when the girls did go to school, there was a little bit of time that I had to determine what is my optimal getting up time when I'm not taking anyone to school or picking anyone up for practice or teaching a group exercise class or something like that. What time do I really want to get up? And it took me a couple weeks to really find the time for this new season of life. And even that time shifted when, COVID-19 hit and people came home and we're now home all the time. That time changed again because I had people in my house and I needed to create more quiet time in the morning when people weren't up and about. The house was full again and that time shifted again. So I think one of the most crucial pieces to the morning routine, once you've established your get up time, your wake up time, and that morning routine, that operating system goes into play, is also acknowledging that get up time is going to shift and change. And what might work for you right now, 6 months from now, might not work. It might need to be something else, or it gets to be something else, and that's okay. Everything about life is a constant process of evolution, a constant process of shifting and adjusting and changing with the seasons of life. So let your morning routine shift with the seasons of your life. Just like other pieces of your life, let that routine shift with the season of life that you are in, and give yourself grace to take a little time to figure out what season of life this is, and what routine is going to feel good to you, because what you don't want is that routine to become a rut. You want your morning routine, those powerful, magical, early morning hours. You want those hours and that routine to serve you in your goals, in your vision, in your dreams, in your life. And the last thing you want is for it to feel like a rut. And I know that it can be easy to get there. I did. I continued to do this morning routine that had served me for about 7 months, and it took me a minute really to stop and to assess and go, oh wait, this is not serving me anymore. I'm in a different season of my life. And then to shift and evolve and adjust and tweak that morning routine so that it continued to feel magical and powerful and help me feel confident and calm, which is super important for the morning routine that I want to create, that I want to have. But I had to shift and adjust that. So let your morning routine shift and flow and adjust and evolve with the seasons of your life, and be really cognizant, be really aware of it being a routine that serves you rather than a rut that does not. And also be really aware that that morning routine starts at night. So you can't be going to bed at midnight if the time that you get up in the morning that serves you is 5 a.m. It's just not going to work for you. Your morning routine really begins at night in making sure that you get good rest, that you are hydrated, that you've shut off your tech, that you've done a brain dump to get all the stuff that seems to come to our heads at night when we're ready to shut it down. Now, all of a sudden we've got all this stuff floating in our heads, that you've done that brain dump. You've written all that stuff down. You've given yourself the chance to relax and to let go of the day so that you can rest and recover and get up the next day to tap into the magic that is that morning routine to create another amazing day. So know that your best morning routines will always begin the night before, and getting yourself ready to have an amazing morning, which will lead to an amazing day. Now, how do you stay consistent with all of this? I have found the best ways to stay consistent is to have an incredible community around you. I remember years ago when I was trying to figure out what time I would get up, and I would get up early, and I really felt like when I was teaching high school, I would get up super early, like 4 a.m. And I remember feeling like I am the only one in the world right now. Like I'm the only one in the entire world that is up right now, because I did not have a community of people around me that were either getting up early or talking about getting up early, or just having any kind of elevated conversation about goals and dreams and life, and doing it all on purpose. And the more I tapped into a community, the more I sought out a community and then tapped into a community of other like-minded people, I found, I'm not the only one who wants to get up early, who believes in the power of the morning. So community has been the most important piece in keeping me consistent, because when you are surrounded by people who also believe in the power of the morning, or believe in the power of your dreams and your goals and creating a life that aligns with that, when you are surrounded by people like that, it's a whole lot easier to stay on track. It's a whole lot easier to stay consistent, because that's the conversation that you're having all the time on the regular. So let your morning routine serve you. Don't let it become a rut. Make sure it's a routine that serves you in your goals and dreams. Make sure that you're setting yourself up at night to tap into that powerful morning magic that happens in the early morning hours. And to stay consistent, get a community of people that are like-minded, that want to talk about goals and dreams, that want to talk about not playing small, about dreaming bigger and doing more and contributing more, and really, truly, intentionally creating the life that we want to create on purpose, and knowing that starts with the days and the mornings, the hours. Make sure you have that community in your life too. And if you're looking for that, I can help you with that. So use your morning to set up the day that you want, and then string together a lot of those days to set up the life that you want. I promise, finding, creating, crafting, digging into, tapping into the power of those early morning hours, that magical morning routine, I promise it can change your life.